I thought financial wellness was about money. I was wrong. For a long time, I believed there was a number that would change everything. I never knew exactly what that number was. Maybe it was a certain salary. Maybe it was 50,000 euros in savings. Maybe it was simply the day I could finally stop worrying. I imagined that one morning I would open my banking app, look at the balance, and finally feel safe. Life would become less stressful. I would stop thinking about unexpected bills. I would stop wondering what would happen if something went wrong. I believed that financial wellness would arrive the moment I reached that magical number. But over the years, something interesting happened. My income changed. My circumstances changed. Life changed. But the feeling I was searching for didn't arrive the way I expected. Eventually, I realized something. I wasn't really chasing money. I was chasing peace of mind. And those two things are not always the same. Because you can earn more money and still feel anxious. You can have a good salary and still worry every month. You can appear financially successful while carrying constant pressure inside. That was the moment my definition of financial wellness began to change. Not overnight. Not because of one life-changing event, but because I slowly started asking different questions. One of the strange things about adulthood is that nobody really teaches us what financial wellness actually feels like. We're taught how to earn money, how to spend it, sometimes how to save it. We hear about investing, retirement, budgets, interest rates, but almost nobody talks about the emotional side of money. What does it actually feel like to be financially well? What does it feel like to know that one unexpected expense won't completely destroy your month? What does it feel like to make decisions without constant fear running quietly in the background? What does it feel like to sleep without mentally calculating bills before falling asleep? For years, I assumed those feelings belonged to people who earned much more than I did. People with better jobs, larger salaries, bigger investment accounts. People who seemed to have life figured out. Financial wellness always looked like something that existed somewhere in the distance. Just one promotion away. One successful business away. One lucky opportunity away. But eventually, I realized something important. Financial wellness isn't reserved for wealthy people. It's a relationship. A relationship with money, with uncertainty, with decisions. And that relationship can begin changing long before your income becomes perfect. The biggest change didn't happen in my bank account. It happened in my thinking. For years, my question was simple. How can I earn more? There's nothing wrong with asking that. A higher income can improve your life. It can reduce stress, create opportunities, give you more choices. But if earning more becomes the only question, life starts feeling like an endless race, because there's always another number, another goal, another level, another promise that happiness is just around the corner. Then one day I asked myself a different question. How can I make my life just a little more stable than it was yesterday? That question changed everything. Suddenly, I stopped looking for dramatic solutions. Instead, I started building small systems, automatic savings, tracking my spending without judging myself, reading instead of worrying, learning one useful skill every week, making slightly better financial decisions, building something alongside my full-time job without expecting it to replace my income immediately. None of those actions looked impressive, Most people would never notice them. They certainly wouldn't go viral on social media. But something unexpected happened. Those small systems began creating space, a little more breathing room, a little less fear, a little more confidence. Not because life became easier, but because I became more prepared. Today, I believe financial wellness has very little to do with perfection. Life never becomes completely predictable. Cars still break down. Unexpected bills still arrive. Jobs change. Health changes. The economy changes. Life will always surprise us. Financial wellness doesn't remove uncertainty. It changes our relationship with uncertainty. When there's no financial margin, every problem feels like a crisis. A broken washing machine feels overwhelming. A car repair feels terrifying. A medical bill feels impossible. But when you've slowly built even a small amount of resilience, those same situations begin to feel different. They're still frustrating, but they no longer define your future. That's a feeling that's difficult to measure on a spreadsheet. But you know it when you experience it. You sleep differently. You think differently. You stop reacting to every problem, and you begin responding with more clarity. This is also why my definition of freedom changed. For a long time, I thought freedom meant never having to work again. Today, I don't believe that anymore. Freedom is having options. The option to handle an unexpected expense. The option to learn something new. The option to say no to work that drains you. The option to take a few days off without panic. The option to invest in your future. Freedom isn't the absence of work. Freedom is the presence of choice. And financial wellness quietly creates more of those choices over time. One lesson has become incredibly important to me. Systems are usually more powerful than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you feel inspired, other mornings you don't. But a good system keeps working. Automatic savings don't depend on motivation. A weekly financial review doesn't require excitement. Learning 1 hour every Saturday doesn't require perfect discipline. Small systems continue working, even when life becomes busy. Instead of asking, "How can I make money quickly?" I now ask, "What system can I build today that makes life easier 6 months from now?" That system might be financial. It might be educational. It might be digital. It might simply be a better daily habit. Small systems reduce mental clutter. They quietly improve your future while you continue living your present. People sometimes ask me why I became interested in building an online business. The answer surprises them. It wasn't because I wanted to escape work. It wasn't because I believed making money online would be easy. Actually, it was the opposite. I wanted another layer of stability, another skill, another asset, another option. That's why I started writing. That's why I built a blog. That's why I started this YouTube channel. Not because I expected instant success, but because I wanted to slowly build something that belonged to me. An article can continue helping people years after it's published. A video can continue reaching someone months later. An email list becomes a relationship. Knowledge becomes an asset. Skills become opportunities. None of these things grow overnight, but they compound, quietly, almost invisibly, until one day, you realize you've built something meaningful. Not because of one breakthrough, but because of hundreds of ordinary days. I've also noticed something interesting. Financial wellness and intentional living are deeply connected. When I become more intentional with money, I also become more intentional with my time. When financial stress decreases, mental clutter often decreases too. When I stop chasing every opportunity, I become better at focusing on the few things that truly matter. Money doesn't solve every problem, but reducing financial pressure creates space for better decisions. And better decisions slowly create better lives. If someone asked me today what financial wellness means, my answer would be very different from the one I would have given 10 years ago. Today, financial wellness doesn't mean luxury. It doesn't mean having millions. It doesn't mean reaching some magical number where fear disappears forever. Financial wellness means sleeping a little better, because I know I'm building something stable in the background. It means having slightly more options than I had yesterday. It means knowing that every useful skill I learn, every article I write, every video I publish, every euro I save, every thoughtful decision I make, is quietly strengthening the foundation of my future. That feels far more meaningful than chasing dramatic financial success. The older I get, the less I think financial wellness is about arriving somewhere. I think it's about building a foundation that makes life less reactive, less fragile, less controlled by fear. There will always be uncertainty. That's part of being human. But we can influence how prepared we are to meet it. Freedom rarely arrives all at once. It's built quietly, through habits, through systems, through patience, through learning, through long-term thinking. None of those choices feel dramatic in the moment, but together, they create something incredibly valuable. Not just wealth, something even more important. The confidence that you're slowly building a life with more options than you had yesterday. And perhaps, that's what financial wellness has meant all along. Not having everything, simply knowing that you're moving in the right direction. One thoughtful step at a time. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, I'd genuinely love to hear your perspective. What does financial wellness mean to you today? Has your definition changed over the years? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. And if you'd like more reflections on conscious living, financial wellness, intentional systems, and building a calmer future, I'd love to welcome you to the Freedom Journey community. Until next time, take care.